arrayed, stopping Hussein from going forward. If Imam Hussein tried to turn his party this way, they would block them. If he tried to turn this way, they would block him. So we stayed here on this little tapeh, this little hill. And they stayed there, barricaded until the time of Salat al-Dhuhr. At the time of Dhuhr, they prayed together. But you know, this really isn't what I want to discuss. What I want to show you is earlier in the discussion we mentioned that people inherit spiritual attributes also, right? From your forefathers, from your ancestors. There's a story that they tell about Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam. They say that once a poor man came to Prophet and complained to Prophet that he hadn't eaten in 2 days. Prophet tells this poor man, go to my house, and ask the ladies of my house if they have anything to eat. Riwayat says that this man went to each of the houses of the wives of Rasulullah and they also had nothing to offer him to eat. When he returned to Rasulullah, Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam announced to his companions, who will take this man home with them and feed him? The first one to answer was Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'll take him to my house. So Imam Ali takes that man home, and when they reach the door, you know, Imam Ali goes in to inform his wife, Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam, that they have a guest. Hazrat Fatima informs Imam Ali that there's not enough food in the house for this guest. The food in the house, there's just enough to feed Hassan and Hussein. Imam Ali now was in a predicament. This man, he's already told him, come to the house for dinner. So what Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam does is, he tells Fatima, take Hassan and Hussein and put them to bed, because they were just children at this time. Take them, and then according to riwayat, it seems as though Zainab wasn't even born yet. Take Hassan and Hussein and put them to bed. And then when they were put to bed, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he invited that man in for dinner. Hazrat Zahra prepared that food. And then Imam Ali turned down the lights in the house so that that person could not see how small the serving of food was. And Hazrat Zahra and Imam Ali, they stayed there with this guest of theirs till he ate his fill. And apparently they only maybe pretended to eat, to look like they were eating, because the food was so small. But definitely riwayat says that Hassan and Hussein went hungry that night. And there's no way that Hassan and Hussein go hungry without Ali and Fatima also going hungry. This doesn't happen. This family of Ahlul Bayt, we've heard so many stories of their generosity, of them going hungry so that others can eat. This is one of their characteristics. You never go to Ahlul Bayt and leave empty-handed. I mean, there's another story. One guy comes to Rasulullah. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I'm an old man, a hungry man, and my clothes are in tatters. Give me something to eat and something to wear. Rasulullah says, I will send you to someone who Allah loves her and she loves Allah. And Prophet sent that man to the house of Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam. This man goes, he says, oh house of the Prophet, oh house upon which the angels descend. I'm an old man. I emigrated with your father. My clothes are in tatters and I'm hungry. Please give me something to eat. Hazrat Zahra and Imam Ali, they took the bed that they used to have Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein sleep on and sent it out to him. The beggar said, Ya Ahlul Bayt, I'm hungry. I can't eat this. He sent it back. So Zahra took one of her necklaces that had been a gift to her and she sent it out to this man. When the man saw this necklace, the valuable nature of this necklace, he took it back to Rasulullah. He said, Ya Rasulullah, this is what Fatima has given me. Rasulullah says, then rejoice in it. And announces to his companions, who will purchase this necklace so that their brother can eat and get some clothes? The first one to stand up was Ammar Yasir. Ammar stands up and says, Ya Rasulullah, I will purchase that necklace. Rasulullah says, fine, then purchase it. Ammar asks that old man, what price do you want for it? The old man says, give me something to eat and something to wear. You see, a necklace is no use to a man who's hungry and naked. He can't do anything with it. He'll sell it for a plate of food and some clothes to put on. Hazrat Ammar said, okay, here's the deal. I'll give you this much money. I think it was something like 200 dirham. Food, and not just one meal. Hazrat Ammar gave him some food. And also some clothes, and not just one clothes, but some clothes to wear. And then took that necklace. Ammar goes home, prepares the necklace, perfumes it, gives it to one of his slaves and tells the slave, take this to Rasulullah. Tell Rasulullah that this necklace and you yourself are a gift to Hazrat Fatima to Zahra alayhi salam. Servant takes the necklace, goes to Rasulullah. Rasulullah says, Allahu Akbar. Go to your new mistress now. The servant takes the necklace to Hazrat Fatima. Fatima takes back the necklace and frees the slave. So then she notices that the slave starts to dance. She says, why are you acting like this? Why are you dancing? He says, at the miraculous necklace of Fatima, that it fed a poor man, it clothed a naked man, it freed a slave, and then returned to its owner. This is Ahlul Bayt. You never go back from their house empty-handed. Hussein inherited this generosity from his forefathers. That when the contingent of Hur ibn Yazid came upon them, they were dying of thirst. They were dying of thirst. Imam Hussein gives the orders, give water to the contingent of Hazrat Hur. 1,000 people were given water by Hussein, such that it saved their life. Their horses were given water by the members of Hussein's caravan, such that it saved their life. One of those members of this contingent of Hazrat Hur, he says that I came after everyone else. He was one of those weak and thirsty persons that couldn't keep up with the rest of his detachment. He says he arrived late after everyone else arrived. And as he picked up the water skin, it would spill all over him. He didn't have the strength to hold his own water skin. Because look, silly people like us, we can't hold the water skin either. There's a technique in it. It's not a liter bottle of Pepsi that you just hold up. There's a technique. You have to hold it a certain way. This man was too weak to hold his water skin so that he could drink. When Hussein saw him doing this, Hussein himself got up, went and held the water skin for this man so that he could drink. And then when he was finished, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam gave water to his camel. This was Hussein. You know, one of the reasons that water was so scarce in the camp of Hussein, after having had so much water, was because they gave all that water to Hazrat Hur's contingent and their animals. You can imagine the feeling of Hur ibn Yazid. He's one of those people in the army of Banu Umayyah who really, in his heart, he's a good person. He's not a bad man. This is a job for him. And a job that he's been given to do. You know, many people didn't even know who the rebel bandit was. They were just saying there is a rebel and a bandit from Hijaz that is revolting against the government. We have to deal with him. Many people didn't even know that the rebel bandit was Hussein ibn Ali. Hur ibn Yazid was just carrying out orders. But on the night of Ashura, hearing the cries of Hussein's children, and on the day of Ashura, hearing the cries of Hussein's children of Al-Atash, the thirst. This had an effect on the heart of Hur ibn Yazid. You see, he had an identity and a self-concept